If you're the type of person who falls for people's sob stories, I don't care how much of an empathetic person you think you are, a compassionate person you think you are, a kind person you think you are, a good person even, you probably get easily manipulated. And you most likely don't have good judgment and discernment when it comes to discerning who is a narcissistic person, especially when they're telling their sob stories online. Like, a lot of you really lack judgment when it comes to seeing who's truly the victim versus someone who victimizes themselves. Even a perpetrator can make themselves sound and look like the victim in all situations. An abuser can make themselves look like the victim. And I feel like, unfortunately, this is one of those things that unless you've been in abusive situations where you are constantly gaslit or abused or whatever, that you will not really understand. Because you take everything for its face value, most likely. And if somebody knows exactly how to manipulate you emotionally, you just believe them for its face value. And be logical. Do you think that someone who's a perpetuate narcissist or a perpetrator or an abuser is going to openly talk about how much of an abuser they are, how toxic they are, how much of an evil person they are, how much they've abused other people? Have you ever dealt with a covert narcissist? Those are the most dangerous ones, because these are people, and honestly, it's going to be very hard to tell online, which is exactly why everything you see online, even with the people that you like, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. You gotta think about how a narcissist tries to present themselves to the public. Stop falling for people's sob stories. And stop demonizing people because they don't fall for people's sob stories. You see, there's a difference, a huge difference between someone who is connected to emotions and energies and who's sensitive to situations and who's very emotionally intelligent and aware, and someone who gets manipulated emotionally because they don't know what's what. And someone who is an empathetic person doesn't always have to use that empathy to cater to everyone's emotions and feelings and their sob stories. That's not what practicing empathy is. So anyways, y'all out here, from what I see online, especially this online engagement, most of y'all are so vulnerable to emotional manipulation.